the state will match, and for the state house and the state senate around, I think it's $20,000 or $30,000. But you've got to get your money clean, and the key to this program working is that the people believe in it, and most of the legislators now are participants in the program. And it's voluntary, so it meets the Supreme Court's strictures on freedom of speech and corporations are people. It's been challenged, and it's withstood those challenges. But the citizens, they have a way of telling, well, are you participating in this citizens election program? Are you on the take? Are you getting money from the big shots that are out in California and trying to affect Connecticut's legislature? Or are you getting money just from the local people? And if you're getting money from the local people, then they'll vote for you. And if you're on the take, then they won't vote for you. And there's nothing more that politicians don't like than having people voting against them. So it's put pressure on candidates to get their money in small amounts from the local people. And it has worked there. And I don't see any reason why we can't apply that to Washington in our congressional campaigns. Another topic I want to mention about political reform is that, you know, a lot of people ask me, well, are you liberal or are you a conservative? Are you on the left or are you on the right? And I realize that this is very standard language, but I can tell you that I've been an independent for over 30 years, and I do not think of myself, and I have not thought of myself as being on the left or the right for a long time. And I don't see any reason why we need to take complex issues and try to shoehorn them onto a continuum between left and right. Like they're supposed to be fitting on a line between left and right. It's just unnatural to me. And I just don't see any reason for it. When you do that, it biases your interpretation of the facts. It divides us unneeded. It's like we would never walk into a jury and divide in half and then work on the problem. We just work on the problem and get the facts and apply our values. So that's a couple comments I have on political reform. And if there's any comments that you guys have, I'd like to, or questions. Okay?
Could you speak a little bit more to your comments about corporations, the Supreme Court ruling on corporations being people fundamentally, which is unprecedented?
Yeah, well, we had the Citizens United case where the Supreme Court essentially said that corporations can make donations to political campaigns and they are not capped. So the Supreme Court's rationale for doing that, you can read in a book called, that's by Stephen Breyer, it's called Active Liberty. And they are very protective of free speech. And we all love free speech. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what you're doing. But I don't think that it applies, and it gets back to the whole equality thing. There's no equality. That's what people are essentially complaining about, is we don't have any equality. It should be one person, one vote, and you should have the same amount of influence as every other citizen in your district. And that's the genesis of charging only $20, because I cannot be on the take if you know that no one else is getting any more than paying any $20, or giving me any more than $20, because I cannot be beholden to them for such a small amount. Even I would have set it at $100 and had a luncheon, and it's $100 to get in for the luncheon. A lot of people are going to be in on the outside of that, and feel, well, they're in the inside, they got the influence, I'm out here again. So that's why I put it at 20. Any other comments on political reform or questions? All right. Well, we'll go on to the budget deficit. And when I've met all these people petitioning and going door to door, they say, where do you stand? And I always start with the budget deficit. And I must say that, to me, we should not accept that there is something deficient about us, that we cannot pay our own way. And really, it should just stop right there. We should pay our own way. We should insist that we pay our own way. What we're really doing when we don't pay our own way is we're assuming that future taxpayers 5, 10, 20 years from now when the bonds are coming, need to be paid. Read the T-shirt.